What's up, guys? Alfredo here from over at YouTube and Twitch.tv. Alfredo Plays. Now, the Kinda Funny guys sent me over to Respawn recently to go check out Titanfall 2's single and multiplayer gameplay and footage, etc. It was just this overall event where it was just Titanfall 2 thrown all over my face. That's a good way to put it, right? Anyways, today we're going to be talking about my single player experiences. Now, I didn't get any hands-on with single player. They did give me a ton of hands-on with multiplayer, and next week we'll be having a plethora of footage and just my thoughts and overview of everything Titanfall 2 multiplayer over on the Kinda Funny channel and my channel as well. Anyways, jumping into single player, the backstory that they gave us was that we are your typical just grunt pilot, right? And we aspire to be this badass, you know, double jumping, mech fighting warrior. Now, what happens is eventually that the guy, their captain, or, you know, higher up general, or whatever you want to call it, he eventually gets the hands, you know what I mean? And saves our lives, nonetheless, but eventually gives us access to his Titan. A Titan that he's been synced with for 3 years at this point. Anyways, we're synced with that Titan, and from there the story continues. Now, Titanfall, the first one, I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours, even played it at a competitive level, and I never ever, from myself personally, or just from other people, heard any complaints about the gameplay of Titanfall, right? It was always very well driven in terms of mechanics and the way it played, but the thing that was lacking in Titanfall was just depth, right? We had a single player with, I mean, we had multiplayer, which didn't have too much to it, even though the gameplay was great and mechanics were awesome. No single player at all, which turned off a lot of people. So when they announced that Titanfall 2 was going to come to, one, multiple platforms, great idea, because everyone deserves to play this game, and two, there was going to be a campaign, I was very excited. At the same time, though, a campaign for Titanfall, it just didn't click in my head. And that's simply because Titanfall didn't have that much content, right? So jumping down and sitting and be able to see Titanfall 2's campaign, I was actually pretty impressed and excited. So one of the things that really stuck out to me was the fact that they really have you build a connection and relationship with the Titan. The Titan isn't just this big mech that you roll around with and fight other characters with, etc. You actually get a sense of personality from your, you know, the Titan's AI, which is awesome. He's over there, he's calculating. I remember this one scene where he was, you know, he was like, okay, let's just launch you across, you know, this huge mountain, and you're sitting there, it's like, this isn't a good idea, and he's calculating the facts that, well, there's a high chance that you might die, there's a high chance that this terrible tragedy might happen to you, there's a high chance you might just, you know, hit your head and crack your skull open. And it was just that type of dynamic that really stood out to me and made me go, whoa, like, it's not just me and a hunk of metal, it's me and this Titan that I'm actually growing to care about. Besides that, another interesting thing too was like, okay, besides the, you know, the combat, fighting other people and fighting other mechs, what else do we have going on for us with single player? And the cool thing was, interesting enough, there's puzzles, right? They used Titanfall's like great mechanics with when it comes to movement and applied that to single player in a way that I just didn't think of in my mind, and that was like puzzles. So there were different encounters where you would have to set up these different types of puzzles in terms of like jumping around and making sure you don't hit electricity and wall running at the proper time, and et cetera, and all these things started to click for me, and all these things made me care about single player for Titanfall 2. Not to mention the game just looked gorgeous for single player, which, you know, I kind of expected that coming from Respawn, because Titanfall was a good looking game. But I don't know, I'm just excited and I'm pumped. Like, I think there's they kept a lot of the core elements that made Titanfall amazing, which was the gameplay, and they just built on top of that, right? We got new Titans now, and the campaign's here, campaigns so far. In terms of like, is it gonna be great and amazing? I don't know, but I will say that they've piqued my interest, they piqued my interest, and they really made me think about, like, all right, do I really want to put some time into a campaign? Which now I do, and I'm a hardcore multiplayer guy. Anyways, that's just my quick rant. Overall, I thought the campaign looked very appealing. It does have potential. I hope they keep it up in terms of keeping the levels fresh and intriguing. I think they have a great chance of doing that with, you know, with the puzzles, with the wall running mechanics, going back and forth between a Titan and you know, your pilot. And I just thought it was overall fun and cool. So I'm looking forward to it. And next week I'll have a lot of Titanfall 2 multiplayer footage because, you know, Greg loves sending me over to these events and just wreaking havoc on other players, and that's exactly what I did. So anyways, guys, this was fun. This is me reporting in for the Kind of Funny guys. Checked out Titanfall 2's campaign. We did check out Titanfall 2's multiplayer. I'll show you that footage next week. I'm really excited. That'll be a ton of footage over on the Kind of Funny channel, along with my channel over on Twitch and YouTube, Alfredo Plays. Guys, it's been fun ranting and talking about one of my favorite games of all time. Thank you, and later.